Okay, I got some more NBA trades, okay? We're going to do a 2-for-1 in this video, okay? Instead of making two separate videos. So, the first trade both trades are Jrue Holiday is going to the Milwaukee Bucks. And in another trade, Chris Paul is going to the Phoenix Suns. Let's address Jrue Holiday going to the Bucks. Now, I know there's going to be some Jrue Holiday fans that's going to throw up stats and tell me that I'm wrong about Jrue Holiday. But there's something about me personally, there's something about a player being traded to multiple teams. All right. And Jrue Holiday is that type of player who's been traded through multiple teams. He's been through multiple systems, had multiple coaches, played with multiple players. And to me, when you look at Jrue Holiday, he's a jack of all trades, but he's really not a master of none. He's okay as far as a scorer, a slasher. He's okay as running, as being in a system. He's okay, defense. He's just okay. All right. He's average. I say he's an average +1. All right. He's +1 above other average players. Obviously, by being traded by multiple teams, being on multiple teams, he's not a franchise player. No one is here to suggest that Jrue Holiday is a franchise player. I feel like the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks made this trade is twofold. One is to show Giannis that they are, they want to keep him there. And if it means that they have to, make that roster look intriguing to him as far as him signing an extension, this is what they're going to do. All right. Two, I feel like with the Middleton, him going to Indiana, I think this is like a rebound trade. I think the Milwaukee Bucks organization identified that, you know what, we should have just kept him instead of him signing a contract with the Indiana Pacers. And I think this is like a do-over. What they did wrong last season, and they feel like Jrue Holiday will be like a Middleton type player. So to me, and yeah, I butcher people's names. I apologize for that. But to me, I think that's what this trade really represents. And just like what the trade the Lakers did with the OKC City Thunder, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks is obviously going to have to add some more pieces. This is not enough, okay, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, this is not enough. I think their perspective is Jrue Holiday is going to be a number 2, all right? He has all the capabilities of being a solid 2. Me personally, I just don't see it. I've been watching this kid, and I just don't see it. I think a lot of teams, when they traded for him, expected him to be a solid 2. Some teams expected him to be a solid 1. I just don't see it with Jrue Holiday. I think he's better fit to being a 3 than a 2. All right. So, of course, things could change. Maybe with the Milwaukee Bucks, maybe he can fit perfectly in that structure, in that system. But to me, I just do not see him as a number 2. All right. He had numerous opportunities to demonstrate that, and he hasn't. Okay. And there's a reason why this guy has been bounced from team to team to team to team. All right. I know there's going to be a lot of Jrue Holiday fans are going to say, well, no, you're wrong on this. He averaged this, that, and the third. Okay. To me, I just don't look at stats. I look at fits. All right. I know a lot of people look at these stats and then they use these stats to, post their argument, their disagreement with someone's opinion. And I'm just looking at fit. All right. And to me, he's a solid 3 than a 2. All right. Now let's talk about Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns. And he's going to be paired up with Devin Booker and the other talent the Phoenix Suns had. Now, before we get into this, I first like to state this. When I was on the other YouTube channel, and I think I've stated this on this YouTube channel, that I felt like the Phoenix Suns were on a rise 3 years ago. They drafted the right players, and everything it looked sky's the limit. All right, and maybe this has more to do with COVID. When the season was suspended, and then they started the season again with the bubbles. But it just seems like from last season and the half of the 2 seasons ago, it seemed like the Phoenix Suns have flopped a little bit. Now, I still feel like the Phoenix Suns are on the rise. That young talent has gotten more experience time in the NBA. I think they're ready to win now. I think they're a playoff team. And when you look at what the Houston Rockets could be, we don't know if James Harden is going to be traded. We're not sure about Russell Westbrook being traded. But I think the Phoenix Suns are one of those teams that's going to take one of those playoff spots. Okay, and now I feel like it's more concrete with Chris Paul. Chris Paul has veteran leadership. He has experience. He's a pure traditional point guard, and he's going to fit perfectly with Devin Booker. All right. And this could have all the makings that Daryl Morey saw when he traded for Chris Paul. And he saw, well, look, if you match Chris Paul talent with James Harden, that's going to do wonderful things for the Rocket organization. And at a stretch, it did, until James Harden wanted to do it his way. All right, the James Harden way, the James Harden show. And when Chris Paul walked up to him and said, hey, look, we tried it your way and it don't work. It is not going to work. We need to implement other people into the offense. That's when they had a hissy fit and an argument ensued. And guess what? Daryl Morey had to choose either James Harden or Chris Paul. He's not going to choose against James Harden. So Chris Paul had to go to OKC. And the rest, they say, is history. And I feel like Chris Paul is going to be one of those type of players that's going to really bolster and benefit that Phoenix Suns roster. I also think that look, he had those teams like the Lakers that were interested in Chris Paul. LeBron James stated that he wanted to win a ring for Chris Paul. There was the Clippers were at one point interested in Chris Paul, maybe Chris Paul coming back to the Clippers organization. I did not see that because it did not end in good terms. The Philadelphia 76ers were interested in Chris Paul. The Milwaukee Bucks were interested in Chris Paul. So Chris Paul had a huge market to, go to a contending team. But overall, I feel like this is more about Chris Paul being close to his family. And overall, Sam Presti wanted to have picks and players that he can flip or keep those picks and flip those players for more draft picks because the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're in rebuilding mode. Let's just face it, all right? And I felt like out of all the offers, I felt the Phoenix Suns offer was what was the best offer for Sam Presti. So, Chris Paul's getting what he's want. He's closer to his family. He's with another team with the Phoenix Suns who possibly could go into the playoffs. And then who knows? They might can run roughshod in the playoffs. You don't know until you get in. All right. And this is going to bolster what the Phoenix Suns have on their roster with that young nucleus of talent, more so with Devin Booker. All right. So this makes perfect logical sense in the basketball landscape. All right. Makes perfect sense for the Phoenix Suns. It makes perfect sense for the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right. So, we all knew that Sam Presti was going to flip Chris Paul He was not going to be a fixture with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And hey man, there was a stretch. I mean, he had that team running on all cylinders. All right. So he has a lot more left in the tank. And when he gets to Phoenix, you're going to see a vast improvement with the Phoenix Suns. And they can possibly sneak up and get a playoff position. All right. Now, how far did they advance? We don't know. All right. They can be a one and done, or they can make it to the second round. All right. But you just don't know until you get in. All right. A lot of factors can play against the other the teams that they're going to be playing against. Okay. So we don't know, all right? But I think this is a good trade. I think it benefits both teams. I think it benefits Sam Presti. It benefits Chris Paul. He wants to be closer to his family, all right? So we're just going to have to wait and see how this works out and plays out, all right? So that's all I got for both of these trades. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.